I just want to do a quick video because it's just a lot of people that's extremely concerned, it should be. The whole world is a stage. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of war and conflict happening. This is happening because what is coming upon this land, it requires this. Every time there's a world war, there's a new system. And we have to understand what is in charge. The fallen are in charge.
We are experiencing the greatest dispensational shift. But when we shifted, there were powers that were locked up in the earth. You have powers under the earth, powers from the sea, powers from the air. They have converged. And so some of you do not believe in extraterrestrial beings. These extraterrestrial beings have now amalgamated in strength and power. And the earth shifted. A lot of those powers that were locked up. Because remember, we are in global power structures are in place. And I have to be very careful of what I say because, they'll come back for me. But I'm going to say enough for you to understand what I'm saying. There are global power brokers who are working with certain machinery. And when they send certain sound waves into certain dimensions, it provokes things that have been locked up under the earth from the sea. You understand that? And so now what you do have, we used to talk about astral projection. That's obsolete. That's actually like a walk in the park. Now you have shapeshifters. So these powers, they have come together and they're matching in strength, and they're challenging those individuals who call themselves apostles and prophets. I was in several meetings over the last year, and 3 of those meetings, they had channelers present. I don't know if y'all know what those are. They go up in the heavens and they let these demonic deities tell them what's happening. So all 3 of these agencies were global agencies. They had these channelers present. And I was wondering, well, why these people got these demons now present at every meeting, every high profile meeting? This Jason, the earth is shifted from 3D to 5D. We are closer to the spirit world. I'm breaking it down. So these people are not playing power. They have a lot of authority. And so what is happening now? Back to the guy. The guy said to me, well, because the earth shifted and we're so aligned to the spirit, we cannot make global decisions no longer without the support of the spirit. These are the demons talking. So I said, well, what about, in my mind, well, what about the church? So there is a particular global agency who has consulted with high-ranking demonic Janus and Jamborees.
Yes.
And they have given the names of at least about 40 to 50 known frontline apostolic apostles and prophets.
Yes.
And they asked this prophetess, they call her the prophetess, but we know it's prophetless, it's not prophetess. You understand that? They give her an assignment to vet those individuals in the spirit,
yes,
to see if their credentials,
yes,
in the spirit are authentic, if they have the weight and the authority, because God still has the remnant restraining things in the spirit.
Yes.
Channelers are things that usher in stuff like Moloch or Baal, or these principalities, these fallen, these Nephilim. So we have to understand, when we sit here and we be ignorant, we say, oh yeah, that exists, but no, there's no but. You have 6 planets that aligned, okay, that took place from the 27th to the 28th. Never really happens. Then you had a blood moon, March 3rd, 333, and it happened 33 degrees, however they measure, whatever. But this is what we do know. We know last time there was a new system that took place. Look that stuff up. There was the devil's comment, okay, when the devil did come, and you had Late Night with the Devil that boxed $666,000 and 666. Oh, and it came in 6th place. And then there was something that occurred where 6 people were, deceased because of a ship thing. Understand the times that we living in, because he said, oh, he that has wisdom count the number of the beast. What we dealing with is something way more deeper. We're dealing with something that can be activated with a 6G that can take everybody's minds, okay, and their free will, and change them to a zombie, to be under complete control of who? AI. Who is launching stuff? AI. Who is doing things? AI. Who said they was pregnant? AI. Remember Diella? She got 83 agents. What 83 countries she taking over? Don't get so fooled by what we want to believe about history. And this is Babylon and that's Babylon. Let me tell you something. Babylon is a spirit, okay? There is a spirit of Antichrist. There is a spirit of Babylon. When Jesus changed things spiritually, things changed. There was a land of Babylon. That's right over there where they at. Okay, that's right where they at. Why you think there's a requirement? Why you think there's a requirement for that red stuff? Because that's where they at. They got a temple that's open that's called CERN right over there. They're trying to usher this stuff in. This is the 3rd round. Hey, we doing things in 3s. Understand what I'm saying? Because see, CERN is coming out. We don't need to be focused on all the nuclear stuff. Oh yeah, that's dangerous, but guess what's coming out the ground? Okay, focus and pay attention. We need to pray. What we need is people who really believe. What we need is those who understand who Jesus Christ of Nazareth is and who is filled with the Holy Spirit, who got power. That's what we need. What we need is authority. What we need is intercessors. What we don't need is dumbness. How you gonna shoot something that ain't alive? Then it came from the underworld. How you gonna shoot a marine spirit? Tell me that, please, while being possessed by it. How you gonna shoot something in the 2nd heaven and you ain't ever even heard of it? What we need is to understand what we're dealing with. We need truth. Because see, these kingdoms have merged, and his people, the true of Elohim, that's not playing sides, that understand that there's a bigger enemy that we're fighting, they were warned. We had our warning 2 years ago. Here it is. Who in control? No, it ain't Trump. No, he lost it a long time. No, it ain't Iran. No, it's AI. And who is AI? What is AI? Is the better question. CERN, graphene, nanoparticles, what's in your body? Why is the water contaminated? Oops, there's none. There's not going to be any. No, yeah, that's what they do. They've been here for some time. And since the changeover, you had 2012, you had another one in 2020. You know, you had some things go down in 22. You have monoliths. Look that up. Monoliths. When did they come on the scene? Because I guarantee that's when things changed. We were blind. Get out of the world. Get out of the physical. Life is spiritual. Then you'll understand what we're dealing with. Because we out of time. That is clear. Where would you spend eternity? That's important. Understand that.
Whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will. That's over.
Sleeplessness, agitation, is I've got every individual who is diagnostically hypochondriacal, and I've got every individual who's a worried well flooding the public health system, banging on the door. The CDC comes back and says, nonsense, that's not real. I come back and say, that's fake news.
Blasphemy.